And now to a nasty primary race for district attorney in Philadelphia. Normally, this sort of contest wouldn't get much attention outside of the city, but the recent focus on justice reform has brought national interest to this local race. Big names like musician John Legend and Ben & Jerry's co-founder Ben Cohen are throwing support behind incumbent Larry Krasner. Challenger Carlos Vega has the support of Philadelphia's police union, former officers, prosecutors, and private attorneys. Joining us from Philadelphia to talk about the race is Kristen Johanson. She's KYW Newsradio's crime and justice reporter. Kristen, thanks for joining us. So tell us, why is there so much national interest in a local district attorney's race?
It's interesting. I think that it's because Larry Krasner has become kind of a progressive prosecutor superstar. And that's something that has really captured the interest across the entire nation. He also has a documentary out right now that a lot of people have been watching. But he has a book and he's spoken at a lot of different events. So he has really made a name for himself. And as far as Carlos Vega, he was a former prosecutor in Philadelphia. He was the first Latino prosecutor in Pennsylvania. And so he has the backing of a lot of old school prosecutors, the police officers, defense attorneys that I know personally. And so it's a defense attorney who is the prosecutor in Philadelphia, the top prosecutor in Philadelphia, butted up against a former prosecutor who he fired. It was about a couple days into Larry Krasner's administration when he actually fired Carlos Vega. Carlos has said that he had many families reach out to him, families of victims that have reached out to him saying that they wanted to back him, that they needed him to do something because they felt like their loved ones were being treated fairly in the process. But then, of course, Larry Krasner has gained a lot of support from people within the Black Lives Matter activists and cash bail reform activists. So it's been an interesting race so far here in Philadelphia.
And I want to talk a little bit more about the bad blood between those two gentlemen. But before we get into really some of the specifics, I still want to stay focused at sort of a macro level. And I'm wondering if you can tell us how, in so many ways, the race there in Philly is reflecting a national debate that we're having about police reform in America.
Yeah, we had, this was about September, October. It was after George Floyd. It was after the civil unrest here in Philadelphia and across the country. We had a shooting here of Walter Wallace Jr. Walter Wallace was a man in West Philadelphia who his family says that he was having a mental health crisis, and they said that they were calling for help and obviously calling for the police. And he eventually was shot and killed by police. And that was something that really resonated with people, not only across the country, but here in Philadelphia, obviously, because this is their hometown, and it felt for them like it actually hit here in the city. So police reform has been quite the issue, obviously, across the country. And when the Walter Wallace Jr. video was, or I should say the Walter Wallace Jr. shooting happened, there was actually the police body cam video showing that. And for the first time ever in Philadelphia police history, Philadelphia history, they released that body camera footage about a week after the shooting happened. So we know that police reform is obviously a major conversation across the country. And people feel very much like kind of the idea of old school policing, that Black residents here may be targeted by that. So it's been something that's been constant here in Philadelphia and throughout Philadelphia history without getting too much into it. And so there are reformers that feel like Larry Krasner has their backs, that Larry Krasner will not go after them, that he will go after the Philadelphia police. And there have been, by my count, 26 Philadelphia police officers who have been charged under Larry Krasner, really the most that we've seen in Philadelphia in a term. Other prosecutors did charge Philadelphia police officers, but not this many. Because the courts have been, not fully open, because the cases haven't really been brought forth. He has yet to convict a police officer in Philadelphia, but he has charged them, quite a few.
And Kristen, As you start to allude to, it's not just that that Krasner and Vega have taken different sides on an important debate, but from what I've read, it seems like they genuinely dislike one another. Can you tell us about their connection and what they've said about one another?
Yeah, it's quite a history. So they did have a murder trial against each other. This was in 2016 and involved a murder inside a bodega in Southwest Philadelphia. And Carlos Vega was the prosecutor in that. Defense attorneys involved. One of them was Larry Krasner. And so that was, I don't want to say it was their first kind of showing together, but it at least was the first major trial that they had against each other. I personally did not sit in on that trial, but I do know that it got quite heated at some points. So that was kind of the first beginning of things. About 3 days, again, it was about 3 or 4 days into Larry Krasner's term that he ended up firing 31 prosecutors who were longtime prosecutors or had been there for years and years, and Carlos Vega was one of them. He then, shortly thereafter, actually filed a lawsuit against Larry Krasner claiming age discrimination. That is still going on. The record is sealed, but they still have that ongoing legal battle just with that. And then, of course, with the police union backing Carlos Vega, they support Carlos Vega. They have not formally endorsed Carlos Vega, but they have supported Carlos Vega, and they really, really, really despise Larry Krasner. I mean, they have, for years, it's been the years of Larry Krasner's term, it's been really Larry Krasner versus the police union. Police officers also feel very targeted by him. So Carlos Vega has been kind of their supporter now, saying that he's going to bring criminal justice reform, but bring it fairly and not necessarily target all police officers. It's been quite contentious, and we even had a debate on Wednesday where they definitely had words with each other after the debate.
Yeah, heated words. We saw that. All right, Kristen Johanson, thank you.